We're going to take a look at writing linear from context in function notation. So remember, function notation is the same as y equals mx plus b. It just has a name as it references some kind of input to give you an output. And this is what you need to know when you're understanding how to write it from context. What does your slope represent? It's how your function is changing each time. Whether you're adding or subtracting, it's how you're changing each time. And then you've got plus b. And what is your plus b? Plus b is your y-intercept. What does that mean? It's where you start, or it's your initiation fee. So it's something that happens one time. All right, so your y-intercept is your start or your initiation fee. It happens one time. It's a one-time payment. And then your slope, how it changes each time, what you're adding or subtracting, happens every month, every hour, every day, every week. Happens just happens more than one time. So that's going to be how you remember which is which. And all you're going to do is write the function mx plus b. So I'm going to do example 1 and 2, and then you're going to do example 3. So watch me do 1 at least, and then as I do 2, you can do 3. To join a dancing club, there's a 30 startup fee. Okay, so think about that for a second. What do you think the startup fee is? Do you think this is something that happens once, or do you think this is going to happen every so often? Okay, so think about that for a second. There's a $30 startup fee and a $4 monthly fee. Now think about the $4. Is that something that happens once, or is that something that happens every blah, blah, blah? So you should have said 30 startup fee is a one-time charge, and $4 monthly fee is what it sounds like. Every month I pay $4. So that means this is my happens once, y-intercept. And this is my happens every, which is my slope. And so all you have to do after that is write the function given whatever they define. So let's read what they say. Write a function that models the situation using d as the name of the function. So I'm going to use d as my name, and you have to say as a function of what? In terms of m. So d in terms of m. So my input is m and my output is d. And then you're just writing the y equals mx plus b. Since you said this is the monthly fee, so that's my slope. So it's going to be 4 is my slope. Okay, so I can't write for x because x is, this function is defined as x. In my function, it's what? M. So this is, instead of x, it's going to be m. Okay, so for m. And then where did I start? Plus b plus my 30. So just be careful that with functions, you're using whatever is given in the problem. So you're not necessarily using x or y. You're given whatever is defined. An airplane is 30 feet above the ground. It begins descending. So what does this word descending mean? It means going down. So something is going down. If something's going down, it's negative. At a rate of 2,000, so it's descending at a rate of 2,000 feet per minute. So let's talk about that number. This number 2,000, is it something that has happened in every blah, blah, blah? Or is it something that just happens once? Okay, let's think about the other number here. An airplane is 30 feet above the ground. And then it begins. So what do you think that number does? Is that something that happens once, or is that something that happens every? So just think about the situation. So the plane is at, here's my plane. Oh, that's not my plane. Here's my plane, right? And it's descending, coming down. So it starts off at 30,000 feet above. Okay. Is it going to be at 30,000 feet above after a minute? No. So this is the one that happens once. So this happens once. So this is my plus b. And then descending at a rate of 2,000 per minute, that's going to be my m. Every minute, it's doing something. Every minute, it's doing something. All right. So again, we're just writing our function in terms of whatever they tell us. So let's read. Write a function that models a situation using a. So this is going to be, a is the name of the function as in terms of what? In terms of f. So a of f is equal to mx. Now think about the m real quick. It's descending at a rate of 2,000. That means it's going down 2,000. So shall I say plus 2,000 or minus 2,000? Because it's descending, it's 2,000 minus 2,000. So it's minus 2,000 feet. And I can't write the word, the letter x here because I need to write it in terms of whatever my function is. And so what the x value is f in this situation. So f, so it's descending at 2,000 and it starts above ground. So that starts at plus 30,000. So now we've written the function in terms as a in terms of f. It says find the altitude of the plane after 5 minutes. So what is it minutes? Is it my input or my output? It's my input because it's time. So what that means is it's saying find it after 5 minutes. What is my output? And if you remember from the previous example where you type it in, so 2000 f plus 30,000, right? You type it in and you make it what? A table by hitting settings. Okay, that didn't make it a table. There's an error. Try adding y equals. So again, I forgot my own notes, and that's fine because you just click all the buttons to make it work. So hit it settings, hit a table. There's the table, and I want to evaluate it at 5. I can come down to the bottom and press enter until I hit 5, or I can come to a new line and put whatever number I'm looking for. So anyway, 5 minutes later, it's at 20,000 feet. So 20,000 feet. I just realized there's some words in here that you may not understand. So example 3, an elevator travels down from the top floor of a skyscraper. Its height in feet is given by this equation. So they've already written the equation out for you. So you just have to go backwards, where h represents the elevator's height in feet and t represents the time in seconds. What does the constant and coefficient represent in context? So before you actually do this, I'm just going to define what constant and coefficient is. So constant is just a number by itself. Coefficient is the number before a variable. So I'm going to write that down for you. Number by itself. And coefficient is the number, and hashtag just means number before a variable. And a variable is just a letter. Let me put the letter right there. All right, so basically they're just asking you to go backwards. So for example, this right here, negative 2,000, would be a coefficient because it's attached to a letter. This right here, 30,000, would be a constant because there's no letter. Let's practice.